Severe tropical cyclone Fina has moved away from the top end coast, but it has intensified to a Category 4 system. It's now impacting the northeast Kimberley coast and is expected to make landfall later this evening. Today, it's Monday the 24th of November, and at the moment it's 1:30 p.m. WA time. So we'll start off by looking at the radar imagery over the last 12 hours, and it really just highlights a well-defined eye at the centre of the system with these curved bands of showers and thunderstorms rotating clockwise around the system and feeding into it. Now, some of those showers have been extending as far south as Wyndham and Kununurra. However, the heaviest rainfall total in the last 24 hours until 9 a.m. has been about the western top end, where there were a number of locations that recorded over 100 millimetres, the heaviest of which was 143 millimetres at Dum-and-Merri. But over the last several days, there has been nearly half a metre of rain across Middle Point, which is just inland from Darwin. So the system has brought a lot of wet weather to the top end. So here it is on the map at the moment, a Category 4 system with sustained winds near the centre of 185 kilometres per hour, but gusting up to 270. It's currently located around 60 kilometres to the northeast of Berkeley Rivermouth and 160 kilometres to the east of Columbaroo. Now, anywhere within this orange warning area, the gale-forced winds are already starting to be experienced. So that's wind gusts in excess of 120 kilometres per hour. However, we are expecting very destructive winds to start to increase and develop in between King George Rivermouth and Berkeley Rivermouth as we move into this afternoon and this evening as the tropical cyclone approaches the coast. Other hazards also include heavy to locally intense rainfall that may lead to life-threatening flash flooding, and as well we've got a storm surge with large waves combining to increase the risk of inundation or minor flooding of low-lying coastal areas. So let's see how we're expecting it to play out for today. As it continues moving southwestwards, it's expected to weaken to a Category 3 system, but that's still a severe tropical cyclone before crossing the coast around 8 p.m. this evening. Now, it will be at this stage that the winds will peak about the exposed coastal areas through the area, and as well a peak in the rainfall. Now, once it does make landfall, it will rapidly weaken to a Category 2, 1, and then eventually a low pressure system as we move into tomorrow. However, those gale force winds may be continued into the early hours of Tuesday morning, and the heavy rainfall may continue into midway through Tuesday. So let's take a look at the winds and the rain. Here we have the rain that starts to really extend into inland areas as we move into Wednesday. So although the winds and the heavy rainfall will be mostly confined to coastal areas from today, then we'll start to see some of that moisture being dragged further inland into the interior of WA. So tropical cyclone impacts can expect to have large trees being brought down in these very destructive winds, as well damage to property, both from the destructive winds or the heavy rainfall and flooding, but as well transport disruptions with highways and roads likely to be closed. So if you live across northeastern parts of the Kimberley, now's the time to start to date with our latest tropical cyclone track maps, which you can access via the Bureau website, app or social media. And as always, listen to all advice from your local emergency services. Bye for now.